Thanks so much for tuning in to the latest episode of Beyond Ballin'. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and even hit that notification bell so that you get alerted every time I drop a new episode.
Everybody wanna come to LaLa Land. Everybody wanna come to LaLa Land.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to a new episode of Beyond Ballin'. Today, I'm joined by a true trendsetter, entrepreneur, fashion curator, content innovator, and the man behind What Should I Call My Store, PatisDope. Pat, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
For sure. So look, tell the truth.
Okay.
I'm not hooping. I'm not doing no sports. I'm not balling. Why did you call me?
Listen, Pat, I'm so surprised and impressed with how you have just always had your hand in a little bit of everything.
Okay,
right?
For sure.
And most recently, I've seen that you were doing some work with student athletes in NIL.
Yes.
LaLa Moten. I don't know if we any kin, the last name.
Oh,
right? You didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joshua.
You
I don't know
research?
him. No, I mean, I just saw what you posted.
Okay,
He went to Marshall, 4-star recruit.
4-star recruit, went to Marshall, Southern Miss, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Now
he followed his coach. So
okay.
he's real close. The Deion situation, how Travis Hunter went to, Jackson State. And then it's his last year. Should be league bound.
Yeah.
He's been on the radar, the charts, and it's just the last year. So hopefully everything goes well.
Mm-hmm.
My right hand man is his agent.
Okay.
So we all put everything together. So he's been like our first athlete, doing NIL.
Okay, so boom. So you asked me why I have you on, and that was a big reason why. Okay. So talk to me about that. You're partnering with, you said your friend who's an agent, right? And you guys are helping student athletes with NIL collaborations. How did you get into that? What inspired you?
So we've been friends since 10th grade.
Okay.
Crazy story, ups and downs. And then we just figured out how to make it work. Okay. You know what I mean? All of the athletes, you see Blitz Fits. Everybody loves shoes, clothes, jewelry. Marketing, Instagram, girls, they love it outside of football. So it just made sense. So we got a couple high school athletes, mentoring. It's just the whole NIL stuff is like the whole package.
Yeah.
To try to help young kids, give them a lot of good tips.
Yeah, advice. I mean, you know about branding.
For off the field too. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's where the money is. The money is the branding first.
Okay.
Got a couple kids at DeMatha. So just working on maybe getting a few more in college. Just, of course that can benefit us that we have a relationship with. So as in Josh, we built a relationship before this and it just, made sense.
Awesome. So Joshua, how did you guys build that relationship prior with him?
He's from Forestville.
Okay, yeah. He went to National Christian. I saw that.
Yeah, so one of his mentors knew my Asian friend, and once we just started doing the day-to-day, it just worked. Because a lot of athletes are cocky. A lot of athletes, they got all their stuff with them. He actually is down to earth, dope. He been through a lot of things, so he's just locked in.
So What Should I Call My Store is kind of what's powering, what's joining forces with?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Next Generation Sports.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So are you going to be, talking to the brands yourself, or maybe can they wear some of the stuff that you have in your store?
Access to everything.
Okay, that's
great. And then that also helps the brands.
Exactly.
So everybody's kind of, working together. So we just putting the pieces together for the brands, whatever he likes, and, just getting done.
Okay, so we jump right into it. You are from the heart of the DMV, PG County, okay? Talk to me about how you think being from this area influenced your personal style.
I don't know. We are known for athletes.
We are.
We got a lot of athletes. As far as the style, maybe being close to New York at one time, we go to New York. I can't really say it influenced my style, but growing up, we had a lot of Black-owned brands too. Like Hobo, Shooters, Madness, the OGs.
Madness Connection,
what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's a different wave now, but it's the same hustle, same grind. You know.
Do you feel like the DMV sometimes doesn't get credit for the fashion trends that we've put out into the world? Like now New Balance are like the new rave, right?
Mhm.
We've been doing that, or like the Helly Hansen winter coats.
Mhm.
Is there any other trend that you feel like, okay, yeah, as you travel, it's like, oh yeah, that started like where I'm from, and like they don't even know?
Yeah, they argue about it. We argue about New Balance, Nike boots.
Really?
Wale doesn't get enough credit because
Right.
his style is very unique. He stays very consistent, ear to the streets, a lot of sneaker, where I mean he's top 5 to me in the sneaker game.
Wow.
If it's 4 other people, I'm just giving,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
some type
We
of
don't need to
open
list
window.
all the.
We don't need to, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, like what he's done, I really respect it. His style, from the designers, from the black owns, from the sneakers, I mean, that's somebody that I grew up watching and influenced by.
Wale,
Yes.
who you actually got to interview
Yes.
when you had your blog,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
PatisDope.com. Talk to me about that, because I don't feel like people who maybe are just now following you on social media, they don't know you've been doing this for a long time.
Maybe
Like,
too early.
you think so?
Yeah, it's like I'm exhausted. Like I see all the hard work you put in.
Oh, thank you.
All the cameras, all the time, the write-ups and stuff. I'm like, damn, back in the day. Whew.
But
It-
I mean, I think when people see you and they see a shoe in your hand, right, it instantly adds credibility, right?
I mean,
That
I
has to
guess.
feel good. It does. I'm telling you.
Yeah, so that's why I just stay. I like you said, coming back to this, because I thought about it several times coming back to in the podcast world.
Yeah.
But like I say, I rather support people like you
Thank you.
and other people that invite me on their shows, and I just stick in my lane. You know what I mean? I love doing the shoe work. I don't need to come back right now and do the podcast, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Watching all the dope new faces doing their thing.
So you don't miss it, because that was one of my questions.
Do I miss it?
Do you miss the blog, PatisDope.com? I mean, I was doing my research,
Okay.
right? And I was hearing the testimonies about like people reading your articles, and they were saying that they called you the voice of the DMV.
Okay.
That's a huge title. Do you miss, being known as the voice? That's also a lot to carry, right?
I think I transitioned well.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I wanted, as you know, this is an investment.
Yes.
It's going to pay off. But I think I transitioned well. I don't wake up wanting to go back. If
That's
that
good.
answers your question.
It definitely does.
But
It's like
I do be
I
wanting to
did
interview
that,
people.
and
Yeah, I do want to interview people sometimes, stuff
Yeah.
like this, the artists that come to town, like I used to do the rappers, but I don't want to go back and like, damn.
So it's figuring out a way maybe to like include that into what you're doing, because you wear so many hats, right? You have the store, now you have like you're dealing with student athletes. Do you also style athletes as well?
I mean, I'm
A
not gonna
little
really-
bit. I mean, if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
friends with them and they see what you got on right now,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, where'd you get
Or a
that?
little personal shopping.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, of course.
Okay.
Definitely.
So when somebody comes to you and they say that they want to be helped by you in the fashion department, do you just help anybody, or will they have to already have a little bit of style?
I mean, I try to help anybody that I can.
Good.
You know what I mean? I'm not really an asshole, stuff like that. If you come to me, I try to work something out that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because usually if they want to buy a shoe, that's cool. And we just try to lead you in the right direction, top, bottom pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I try to help everybody.
Back to my original question, does it feel good to know that people look at you and then they instantly get inspiration on their style? Like you are like a walking billboard in a lot of ways.
But I'm not really at 100%. So I always
Okay.
be like, damn, I really want to do this, spend more time in this, spend more time in that, maybe, invest more in glasses, jewelry,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Stuff to complete the looks. So I'm not going to really, walk out here and think, oh, I'm the flyest. I still wake up thinking like, damn, Rick Owens look good. Do I want to buy some Rick Owens? Certain pieces that I like. So it's like I said, I'm still working, trying to complete my looks, complete everything that I got going on.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
So what's the goal for the next maybe 2-3 years, right?
I just need another store
Another store.
in Houston, Miami, maybe LA. So like right now, we're trying to put that Houston aspect together because it seems more financial
Okay.
or financially beneficial
Yes, I
because
get it.
everybody is out there. The market is crazy. It's like the new Atlanta when
You're right.
everybody, you know what I'm saying? So right now we're trying to attack that market while I have a chance to.
Mhm.
So that's basically my next goal in a year. 2 years, maybe another store or maybe hopefully successful with the next one.
Mhm. I want to give you your flowers while you're here because having a brick and mortar is not easy,
No,
right? It is
no.
not easy. And you had yours in Bowie, the heart of the DMV, if you ask
Mhm.
me, okay? Um, since 2019, right? So COVID happened and you are still standing, okay? Which is huge. So congratulations on
Appreciate you.
that first and foremost. What was, the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome with your business so far?
Just the ins and outs of the economy. So COVID wasn't that bad because, like for me, like I said, I got a discount. That's it. I didn't get no PPP loans. The rent was pretty low in COVID
Yeah,
because the town center was a desert.
exactly.
So I just told them, look, you know what I mean? I opened up as a pop-up shop Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I won't have to,
Yeah.
we were still doing 6 feet, 3 feet, whatever it was.
Mhm.
Um, then once we opened up, the money got dry.
Mm.
They spent all the PPP money and stuff maybe a year later. Then people got money again.
Mhm.
Now, right now, people losing their jobs.
Mhm.
It's like the biggest obstacle is keeping the price points where they need to be,
Mhm.
finding the best merch, just playing the market. So even if the people aren't spending, you make them spend.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna
Yeah,
buy what they want.
you're right.
You know what I mean? So like I say, well, social media is a big aspect, like you say, show people,
Mhm.
make people buy in and believe in, what I'm saying, they're gonna find the money.
You're
Everybody
right.
they're gonna find the
For
money.
what they want.
Yeah, for
Exactly.
what they
It's a
want
birthday every day,
every day.
holidays often.
Facts.
Okay, so when you talk about the merchandise that you have inside your store, I think that it's awesome that you have given so much light to like small brands.
Mhm.
How do you go about choosing the brands that you bring inside?
I tell them they gotta do a pop-up shop. So
Okay.
that's basically priority one. Do a pop-up shop. We see your motion. You see if you still our customers. We see if your attitude, this, that, or third. So every brand that's in the store did a pop-up shop and did well.
Okay.
And then we had a conversation and brought them in.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So
What about helping those small brands makes you feel good?
when they just send me a DM or a text or they get themselves
Hmm.
and it helps both. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It helps me and it helps them. And it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I got somebody that might have never seen your brand spending $80 on a t-shirt.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it
Literally.
gives me motivation to keep going.
That's awesome. The burning question, the one that I'm sure everyone who drives past wants to know, how did the name come about? What
I
should I
didn't know.
call my story?
We was in a pandemic. I told everybody this, like I said, I got $1,000 when we first opened, shopping spree. Y'all can come get one. If anybody gives me a name,
Mm.
nobody really gave me a name.
Nobody gave you a name that you liked?
Special feet.
Not for $1,000?
I'm
They can come
deleting.
up
I'm
with
deleting.
ChatGPT wasn't around, huh?
Nope.
Okay, you're right.
It might have been, but it
Well, I mean,
wasn't.
people weren't on it like that.
Yeah,
I know I wasn't.
I was.
You're right. It
I
was
was
a secret.
swiping left on everybody. Big
Mm.
feet,
Big feet, that's what it
nice
says?
kicks, cool, all that. They was just sending all types of names, and nothing stuck.
Mhm.
So it was just what should I call my store?
And it's gonna stay like that forever?
I mean, yeah, for now,
Until
yeah. I ain't
what
gonna
if
never.
one day you come up with what to
I,
call your store?
I
Now it's kind of like a brand. I mean,
yeah.
when
So
you drive past, it's like, what? It makes people
yeah,
like
that's what
intrigued.
a lot
So
of
I
people.
think it works.
Yeah, and they made it. One of my homies made a logo.
Okay.
We made a logo. We kept the colors. The colors look
Hmm.
like Maryland colors a little bit. So it's just crazy how everything just worked out.
Hmm. So now you wear so many hats. right? What's your favorite thing to do right now? I mean, it comes with lulls and flows with anything, right? Like maybe in a year or two, you'll be into something else. Is there anything that really has a lot of your attention right now that you're
I
excited
just
about?
like the shoe videos.
The shoe videos are great.
I just like doing that and seeing the reaction
Yes.
and getting people in the store.
And that's a great reaction. I mean, when I told my dad that you were coming on the podcast, he was like, "Oh yeah, he the one who was posting the Uptowns," because my dad had a contract with Nike when he was
Okay.
in the NBA,
Damn, for
and the
real?
Uptowns were his shoe. They were the only shoe that he wore, like to actually play ball in. So, he's showing me, and then he going back to Google and showing me Getty images with him in the shoes. Like people are super
Whoa.
excited.
How was it growing up with an NBA dad though?
Oh my God. In this area, amazing, because my name is basically his minus 2 letters, Lawrence Laurencia. So I
Okay.
couldn't go anywhere, without people asking me if I was related to him or like recognizing. But
But
it
you
was,
was tall
it
all
was
your life,
awesome.
right?
All my life.
So
I've
they
been
knew.
tall.
They didn't have
They
to ask.
knew. It's just like people want to ask questions, But no, it was amazing.
Dope.
And I got to have him on the podcast.
For sure.
Which was so awesome. As I grow up, we gain a new appreciation for our parents
Mhm.
as we go through things.
Mhm.
And are you a parent?
No.
You want to be a parent soon?
Yeah. Do I want to be a parent soon?
I see the tweets, Pat.
It gotta be the
The
right
tweets. You are
I
like,
can't kill myself though. I'm scared. Because when they had the babies, they change.
that is the word on the street.
I'm scared.
You want to get married first, ideally, right?
Yeah, but the timeline as the days go.
But you're not on the strict timeline like women are.
I'm not on the strict timeline.
You're not.
I might get married though. I'm
Yeah.
not against it though.
Okay, good.
But I'm not like, I want to get married.
Mhm.
But I'm not against it though. I do want a family.
Are you in a relationship currently?
No.
Okay. Because, your tweets go viral all the time when it comes to like,
Just the women.
between the women, it goes viral.
Yeah,
I think I've seen some men repost screenshots, some of your tweets, you have some hot takes.
Yeah.
What's your idea when it comes to relationships now? Do you think that they are beneficial? Do you feel like, and I know, this is like a
Beneficial.
loaded question
I think
for people's growth in life, or do you feel like,
I mean,
people should stay out
from
of
the
relationships?
outside.
From the I mean,
crazy.
from the outside for sure.
Yeah, it's like I see a lot of people world get crushed. Like, I really think if you're not moving in an intent to get married, then I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But like me, as far as me, I move around. Like I said, I move around a lot.
Yeah.
I could be dating girls and they don't like that in the back of their mind, but they probably won't complain. They insecurities, it's a lot of stuff. So with wearing a lot of hats, like you say, and doing a lot of stuff is kind of, I had to put the relationship on the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just for my sanity, because I can't be getting yelled at before I get on flights.
Could you deal with somebody who is also moving around a lot? Do you feel like that would work? Like, what if she had the flexibility to be with you? I feel like a lot of men who have like a lot going for themselves don't talk about the fact that what if they met someone who also had that as well?
So somebody that could be
with you, she could be with you.
But
like,
why with me?
Well, you don't want her with you?
No, I'm saying the flexibility to move around. Yeah, with you.
Sometimes you guys need the distance a little bit.
Yeah, like
space.
The space is so needed.
Okay, so let's talk about like how much space though? Because Monday through Thursday you guys are together, and then Thursday through Sunday you get some space, and you repeat that.
That's living with someone.
Yeah, like I mean, that's your girlfriend.
Even in college, I never lived with a female.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love my alone time. I love to create, to chill, to relax. So I don't know. So basically, if I find somebody that feels just as good as that, we might be good.
Yes, but you haven't found it yet.
It's been close.
It's been close.
I'm not going to disrespect.
No, for sure.
It's been close.
Okay.
It's been close. I had close calls.
And right now you're open because, the ladies are watching and they're listening to this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Are you currently searching for Mrs. Right?
I don't know if I'm searching.
But you're open to it.
Yeah, I'm open
if
to
she
date,
comes and it works out,
for sure,
you're definitely not going to shut it down.
Nah.
No.
Maybe last year I would have shut it down.
Really?
Sabotage, this self-sabotage.
Oh,
I don't
no.
know. But if I find somebody I'm attracted to that's cool, vibey, I might go on a trip by myself or go, handle some business, bring her next time, reap the benefits of your hard work,
Exactly.
For sure. I'm not really against anything. I just want to be logical.
Okay.
And
because right now you're saying like it doesn't necessarily fit your lifestyle right now
it could, but
with the right person.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? You doing all this?
I'm the interviewer, but no,
Oh,
I'm single. I'm single, and like I'm with you though. I feel like I move around a lot.
Okay.
So it's hard with relationships to have someone who is understanding of that.
Because you walk in the room, the little people,
Yeah.
to the 6'8",
Yeah.
they're gonna love you, right?
Thank you.
All right.
And I mean that's the case.
And most
of the
men are
time.
insecure.
I wouldn't say most. I think, you know what somebody told me recently? Because of social media, we have a negativity bias, which
Okay.
means that like, negativity sells. So we see that.
Okay.
But like when it comes to the numbers, I'd say like it's not majority, of men are insecure, but there are some and they're getting a lot of light because, they get the clicks and like people, like to see negativity on social media. But there are some insecure men, but they haven't found their way to me just yet.
Okay, that's good.
And I hope they don't.
That's good.
I just want to breathe positivity. So it's like,
Sure.
I always want to pour that into somebody else.
Yeah.
So even if somebody is insecure, I hope that they feel better about themselves after talking to me. That's my goal,
Dope.
at least.
Yeah. That's my goal too. I
Okay.
don't want to break no one. I
There you
love
go.
women. I want to walk in a room and my woman gets the love before me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes, you know what I'm saying? Okay.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean?
When you talk about your legacy, when people say PatisDope, that name holds weight. That is a brand. You've done so much great work with pushing the culture forward. What do you want people to think when they hear your name?
Just solid person.
Yeah.
Haven't really done bad business.
Exactly.
I try to, help people, but also put my foot down. We ain't doing no pushover stuff. We ain't doing none of that, but just a solid dude. You know what I mean? Like, consistent and, made the DMV proud, stuff like that.
So with consistency, obviously there's trials and tribulations, but what advice would you give to any young creators or entrepreneurs out there who want to know what it takes to start from scratch? Because you did this from the ground up.
Like right now, I really think you should be inspired by the Instagram and the TikToks and all them famous people. But just know that it's like I've been doing this for 15 years. And it's like I got a lot of good opportunities, but I still don't think I got my best opportunity.
Yeah, the best is yet to come.
Yeah, by 15 years, a lot of people would have quit. A lot of people would have got upset, maybe forced to get a 9 to 5, which is not bad. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people might not be like you to be able to work in your field and then do your own stuff behind the scenes. If it don't work out, a lot of people panic. They look on the Instagram and compare themselves and stuff. Comparison is rule number one. Like, don't compare your life or your situation to whatever you see because you don't know what that person is really dealing with or going through.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest advice because that's what a lot of people, I've heard.
Do.
Yeah, look at him.
They do. They do.
You don't know if that's his call or not.
You're right. I was saying something to my dad the other day. It's like there's two people in this world. It's like viewers and doers, right? Like some people are, and I think I made that quote up. Okay, I don't know.
Viewers and doers. That's cool.
I think I made it. You might have to tweet it and go ahead and quote
viewers
me.
And doers.
Viewers and doers. It's the people who watch, and then it's the people who are out there doing it.
Sure.
And I think that right now, a lot of those people who are viewing, they're seeing what the doers are doing, and they're like, "Why isn't this me?" Because you're not doing it.
Facts.
Just go and do it.
Go, do, try. Meet people, get on the ground. Tweet, post your work, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, is all good.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of times I might not feel like I want to post something and I do and something comes out of it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are scared to post work. You know, they think they don't look the best, this, that, or third. Just get the content out there. You never know, where it's gonna go.
Do you have a content schedule that you stick to?
No.
Wow.
My everything is chaos. Like I'll wake up and a shoe will come in the mail.
Beautiful chaos.
Yeah, like I gotta pay taxes.
Yeah.
I'm behind on taxes.
It's tax day.
Whew. I got a lot of stuff that I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, the next 2 years to stay out of debt, make sure people are paid.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's a whole nother thing that I think a lot of people forget. It's like you're a boss, right? And with that, heavy is the head that wears the crown,
Facts.
right? Because
Like a
not
coach.
only, like a coach, it's not only you, right? You're dealing with other people's livelihoods.
Facts.
How do you balance that?
Because I gotta wake up. Like today, I was like, damn, I was gone to Miami for 4 days. And I
Yeah.
ain't zelled my little bro no money for holding it down. I gotta go. Here you go, bro. My bad. Let me just give you this because I got to keep him motivated to work.
Yes.
I don't want him waking up, opening the store thinking that, I haven't got paid on time. I want him to smile so when the people come in, he's ready to sell. You know what I'm saying? This is all like, it's all like a coach,
Yes.
You got to keep your players and put the battery in your players back to make them perform. So it's like, man, it's a lot to go on. You got to make sure they get paid before me.
Yes.
Everybody that works.
And then like a coach, you have to build that team around you.
Facts.
What would you say are like the key people that you have to have around you that help support any business?
Not nobody that's a thief.
Okay.
That's rule number one.
Yes.
People are going to see money, see inventory, see a lot of stuff, and maybe they having a bad day. Maybe their rent due. You got to make sure you have honesty around you.
How do you vet that though?
So my brother's my store manager.
Okay, there you go.
And my little brother runs the store with me during the week. I had a nice assistant, you know what I'm saying, that everything was just organic how I met these people and how they fit. So that was the biggest blessing.
Yes, that is a huge blessing.
No.
Because I feel like a lot of people, they run into situations where they find out later on that somebody wasn't.
I don't never want to
righteous.
meet nobody, like you say, and then my right-hand man, this is sports agent, we've been friends since 10th grade. So I know he's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I know he's working on himself.
Yes.
I know he's trying to be a better person. So everything, I know, what to do and what not to do because everybody's human.
Yes.
So, yeah, I've been lucky with working with family and friends, which people say you shouldn't.
You're right. They do say that you shouldn't work with family and friends. Or it's not advised, but in your experience, you're saying that
it's ups and downs with it all, though.
With everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would have it no other way in my situation, even with the ups and downs, the fallouts, stuff like that.
And you have fallouts.
I had fallout. Me and my mother was, me and her, I brought her in the beginning when all of this was, she taught me about the taxes, saving money, bank accounts, all that. We argue every day over this. You know what I'm saying? So
differences in opinion.
But we've also made money together, had some good days.
More good than bad, I'm sure.
Yeah, IRS ain't come take no crib from us. We've been able to maintain all the challenges that we faced.
It seems to me like hearing you talk, networking is a huge plus when it comes to anything.
Though.
You don't think that what you're doing is networking? Just organically.
I mean,
I'm not saying you have to go to. Yes.
When people coming to me trying to do business in the streets, or maybe not the streets like that, but the streets like the club, but they see me, hey bro, I want to bring my clothing line, Instagram and stuff like that. That's cool. They already have an agenda. But networking is it's a weird thing to me because people look at you a certain type of way and maybe shy away. Like I haven't really, people probably, LaLa, I'm gonna invite her to WNBA, this. You get all the invites. I don't get no invites.
Which is very hard for me to believe.
When I was in that space of PatisDope.com, potentially, because that was more media, I can help people, bring the cameraman, interview people, just stuff like. But when I transitioned to being more of a businessman, If I ain't paying, I ain't there.
Mm.
Or if I'm not going with one of my NFL friends or
Mhm.
somebody that's plugged in, I ain't there.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
And I think it's probably a breath of fresh air to then find out that you are so knowledgeable in different fields. Like you just said, like you might get into the room because like somebody that you know, but then
Facts.
once you're there, you hold a lot of value,
Yeah.
right? Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
And
man.
then people can realize that and they're like, okay, hold on, but we could do work as well. Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah, but I guess I'm not really an excited person. Like
You're not excited?
I'm not in
Why
the
am I
room
not
going
believing it?
crazy. I'm in
Oh,
the room,
okay.
yeah, just chilling.
Like pitching yourself.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
that what
just
you're saying?
chilling, watching, vibing, you know.
Mhm.
I'm not really too anxious
Mhm.
in any room anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So everything has been organic or maybe who's who. Like
Mhm.
I would have never knew Josh through none of this type of stuff.
Mm.
And his people, like, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's where it kind of comes in through somebody else or just through work.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, them invites don't come.
They don't come?
They
Okay,
ain't been
they're gonna
coming
come
lately.
now, though.
Yeah,
Now,
they
after the podcast, we're putting it out in the air. The invite's gonna come, all the little pop-ups,
I gotta go on Instagram. I'll be
everything.
like,
Yeah.
all right,
And now in the DMV, like there's so many different like brands that are like coming and like doing like little like activations and
okay,
stuff.
facts.
Somebody told me it's like turning into like a little New York, which is great because New York has all of the activations that I'm sure you'll be getting invited now. When you have like your NFL friends and stuff like that, do you put them in clothes that comes from the store, like local brands ever?
I mean, if
Or
they
do
like
they
it,
only okay.
yeah, if they like it, if they see it, you know, maybe, you know, they'll hit me up.
Mhm.
So I got, well, two very close friends that I met through the clothes, but we
Oh, through the
created a
clothes.
brotherhood.
Okay, talk to me about them.
So I got Zadarius Smith,
Yeah.
Detroit Lions, and
Mhm.
Janoris Robinson.
Mhm.
He just signed with the Chiefs.
Yes.
I met Janoris when Zadarius was at Minnesota.
Okay, so
And
through them.
so it just was like I say,
Organic.
and then we were all interested in the same things. Everybody loved the tunnel fits.
Mhm.
That's just, you know, part of the game. We love that. So we just kept the relationship going.
Talk about those tunnel fits, right? Because I think the athletes, I mean, ever since AI, right?
Mhm.
Like I think people have seen athletes and looked at them as like the fashion influencers, but
Mhm.
now even more so since social media.
And WNBA too.
Oh, for sure. I'm talking about every tunnel.
I done gave Enrique
Okay.
that's one of my favorite
Me too.
WNBA
She's
players
so
for
talented.
Dallas, right?
Yes, yes.
I done sent
wings.
her packages.
Wow.
She done bought pants and stuff. She liked the sneakers.
That's awesome.
Who else? Maybe somebody on a more lower level, but
Okay.
definitely her.
Oh yeah, Enrique
WNBA
and
been,
Gubawale, yep.
you know, but go ahead. Go ahead.
No, but that's great. Okay,
Yeah.
so if there was somebody who you feel like, okay, I think that I could style them or like I could give them something that maybe they look good in, who
I
would
like
it be?
Flage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like her. She dope.
Flage's style is already like great, and I think you have like the connections to even just take
like
it to the
that.
next
I
level.
like and of course I like Juju. She dope, but
Yeah,
she's so
chill.
chill. She's too chill. She sweatsuits and stuff. Yeah, she chill.
She's
Like I like that, but
okay.
like but once you introduce her to, you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But I mean she the one, so
Exactly.
you know it ain't so she
You don't
chilling.
have to
I like of course Angel Reese,
Mm-hmm.
which I seen her podcast.
Yes.
You gotta get her.
Unapologetic.
You should be able to get her, right?
I would love to get her on.
Yeah.
I think now, you're like the second person to say that very recently. So
Or go on hers, but cool,
there
whatever.
we go.
As far as NFL people and stuff like that.
Yeah, like how did you get your foot to the door with that? Was it through Zadarius? Like
Yeah.
he kind of like
When he
was
first story about Zadarius, he from Alabama.
okay.
I mean, I love Alabama,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? Then somebody gave me a call, was like, yo, I'm trying to get some clothes, blah, blah, blah. And then we just locked in.
Mm-hmm.
He supported me, I supported him. And, now, he making some big money.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's spending a lot of money on clothes every weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he got his own knowledge now. It's just like I opened the door,
Exactly.
introduced it to him.
Exactly.
So, I don't really... I show him what it is, give him, some pieces, but, he know a little bit now.
Do you feel like athletes understand the power that they have when it comes to the fashion world more now than they did in the past?
Yeah.
For sure.
We taking pictures now.
Exactly.
So it's like Odell Beckham went through a crazy
Mhm.
phase of fashion. Of
Yes.
course, Stephon, Trayvon, and them,
Mm-hmm.
doing a lot of stuff. People just waiting for the tunnel fits. Russ went crazy, good and
Yes.
bad.
It's true.
LeBron is going crazy. Like it's a must for at least 80%. I know you got some people that
Who
don't.
just pull up in the Nike
They just
Tech,
pull up
but
in the
like,
Nike Tech.
yeah, but definitely majority of them.
I
like,
think John
understand.
Morant need to work on some stuff though.
That's a good one.
He's
Yeah.
cool. He be chilling though.
Yes.
give
He
me-
decides to turn it on and off when he
I like
wants
Ja.
to.
Yeah, he should.
Do you feel like from a fan's perspective that sometimes, and like I love that I'm having this conversation with you because like if I was talking to an NFL player, they might feel some type of way. Sometimes as a fan, do you feel like if somebody cares too much about fashion that it could be taken negatively?
Who you thinking of?
Nobody specifically.
Care too much about fashion?
Yeah, like if they're like, they want to put it on every tunnel fit, like they're focusing on that, but then like, they only drop 6 points in the game.
I'm trying to think of who I could put in that category, but I don't want to like.
No, I mean, it doesn't have to be anybody.
I
Just
don't
in
know.
general, do you feel like that's
everybody
something
in
that
the
people
NFL
could
or everybody in the NFL or NBA is good.
You're
They
right.
made it
Oh,
to
yes.
the NFL or NBA.
Exactly.
So it's not a whole lot of people that I see doing that though.
For sure.
But like I see, James Harden spending $10,000 on the fit.
Yeah.
But he's also at Paris Fashion Week. He's also
Exactly.
into that. He took a
Yes.
liking to that.
Yes.
Stephon and all them, they took a liking to that. So after football, and Stephon dropped a clothing line and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So after football, most likely it's going to be something
They're carving out that lane.
dealing with fashion,
Mhm.
modeling. I don't know if you know Chico. He's from, he went to Penn State.
Marcus
Marcus
Stewart?
Allen. Yeah.
Okay.
He did 5-6 years football.
Yes.
He's doing
for the
modeling
Steelers or
now.
something.
Modeling now.
Yes.
So it's like fashion is kind of the backup for a lot of people.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Why do you feel like sports and fashion go hand in hand?
It's bigger now every day. It
Mhm.
used to be Allen Iverson, the shoes, the Kobe's, the
Mhm.
Jordans, of course.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But now they wearing everything. Loafers.
Yeah.
Every fashion designer is getting love from NFL and NBA
Mhm.
people. So I don't know now. It's just an added piece to the culture.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, you and I actually have something in common. We both majored in communications. You
Mhm.
studied at Salisbury University. When you think back to maybe then or even before then, what did young Patrick want to do at that time? What did he want to be when he grew up?
Just the same thing, but just elevated.
Yeah.
Like I was doing a YouTube, doing a blog. I made the blog in college.
Wow.
So it was just music, fashion, females. I had a couple pieces where I would feature, females in the area that were doing their thing. And then people was finding them on Twitter and Instagram and following them and stuff like that. So it was a cool little piece. Just elevation. Cause I was selling snapbacks in college.
Yeah. You
Just
were
doing the
always
same
doing
stuff. So like I'm pretty
true to
content.
it.
Yeah, I'm true to it, but I'm pretty content now. Like I just want to make sure what I'm doing now can pave the way to my future and I can, you know what I'm saying, retire with some money.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
When you look back to your younger years, who inspired you? Was there anyone who you said maybe even
When I
before
was
the
a kid,
blog?
Allen Iverson was my inspiration.
Yes.
As a kid. Of course, Dion.
Yes.
Jay-Z, Nas.
Okay.
I was a Drake fan in the beginning.
Not anymore?
Nah, I'm still a Drake fan.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I ain't letting them play with
You
my
were
magic.
in the beginning. You're
beginning.
letting us know that you were with him in the
Like
beginning.
pause. I fell in love with Drake, in college and high school. You know what I'm saying? When it was, MySpace was turning down and, we was we was going to the Twitter era and stuff like that when it was Big Sean, Wale, Kid Cudi, all those type of things. You know, I liked Nipsey Hussle and stuff like that.
Nice.
But yeah, that's basically who inspired me. Of course, Wale from here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And did anyone inspire you to make the blog? Like, or was it just one day you just decided? I mean, everyone had a blog around that time because I had a blog too.
Like a blog spot.
A blog spot, exactly.
Or a Tumblr.
Or a Tumblr. Yes. But Blogspot was harder because, like, did you realize we were coding back then?
You was putting
We
the
were
code
coding.
in. And you was writing at the bottom of the code.
Yes.
The code was the picture and the link and stuff like that. Yeah, we
Like,
was
what?
copying and pasting code.
Yes.
Yeah, it was cool though. It was a good time because it wasn't no pressure. We were just doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's like $50 a post.
Exactly.
$100 a post. And I cannot hate on that because that's
gotta
how
get
I
it.
made my money coming up.
Yes.
You know, doing the interviews, the promotions, and all that. Before it was so crazy when you got 30 people with 300,000 followers in every state.
Was there a moment during your blogging journey when you realized, okay, yeah, this is taking off? And can you take me back to that moment?
In the DC, in DMV,
Yeah, in the DMV.
it was the Shy Glizzy interview. When I did the Shy Glizzy interview when we were both dirty. He was beefing with Fat Trail, and people was finally clicking. But it was a lot of interviews that didn't do numbers where I thought would do numbers. Like, that's why I think about it now. If I posted a Kendrick Lamar interview now, my Kendrick Lamar interview got like 5,000 views on it.
Yeah, but it would go up
back in the day.
now. Yeah.
So, like, all of the reels and the stuff we got now on TikTok, that's the only thing where I feel I fell short because it was a little too early.
Okay. Because you feel like people weren't up on it yet.
Yeah, people, we might have had it on the phone. Some people had iPhone, you know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. But yeah, it was just a little too early, like 2-3 years too early.
You know, I think that is just a testament to how forward thinking you are, which is awesome. You know, where did you get that from? Because like you said, like, people weren't doing it. It wasn't as popular to be doing sit down one-on-one interviews, especially with people of this caliber. Why did you know that that was important for the culture?
I don't even remember how the interview started, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just know I did that, and then it was a lot of invitations. I remember DTL, had a radio. They had a contract with everybody who came, celebrities that came to DMV, and it was somebody that used to call me all the time. Such and such is coming to the store. Come get a picture. Come get an interview. I was with all the celebrities.
Wow.
And then with doing that, it opened the smaller artists to be able to pay me for a service. Music videos, promotions. Everybody dropped a mixtape. Like, everybody's a clothing line now.
Yeah.
10 years ago, everybody wanted to be a rapper. Everybody. It was endless rappers. Now it's like, I feel like people are more turning into entrepreneurs, makeup artists, clothing lines, selling everything.
Yes.
Everybody has an Instagram page to sell something. Yeah.
How do you feel about that as one of the
That's cool.
OGs when it comes to monetizing on social media?
They still need help. They still need a place to sell.
Yeah.
I get 2, 3, 4, 5 calls, different brands all over the world, trying to put stuff in the store and stuff like that. So it's cool, but it's definitely the same vibe. I used to get the rapper calls. Now I'm getting the brand calls. You know what I mean? And then back in the day, we had all the festivals. The festivals was crazy.
Yeah.
Before 2020.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic. So that's when I used to get a lot of invites to do a lot of things.
Like dress certain artists, stuff like that?
No,
or
no,
like
no.
just pop up for
Interviews.
Oh,
you know how valued pictures are for, you know, the internet. And that's what I used to do when the blog, because the blog was, you know,
a source of like news
for sure.
a lot of things.
So that's when I got the invitations to know all the different activations, Broccoli Fest before it was crazy, Trelectro, all the different things we had going on at DMV.
And you were just doing it by yourself, or did you have a team?
I had a couple people. I had a cameraman.
Okay.
You know,
but like as far as the content.
Yeah, I was doing most of it by myself. It ain't crazy. Look, we had one of them, a tripod, and we took pictures.
Yeah.
maybe did some audio.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't nothing like this, lights and stuff. We just had one cameraman. We had the color correct, and that's it. We throwing that interview up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when it's raw, that's always great. That's why I like doing like this. Like, you know, I do like very edited interviews for my like 9 to 5, but then
Okay.
I love this because it's unfiltered.
Facts.
So you get like the real raw reactions from people. Do you feel like, you know, back in the day when you were doing the whole blog, the rawer the reactions, the better the engagement? Or do you feel like people liked the clean cut?
I mean, everything
vibe?
took time. So, of course, first it was raw. We had a Nikon camera, you know what I'm saying? Then, as years and time progressed, we got the Canon cameras, and I could pay an editor to edit it and cut and make sure stuff was, you know what I'm saying, pretty good. So, yeah, it was just time.
Okay.
Because it's, you know, I'm pretty sure you look on your Instagram, like, does it look clean? Does it look clean?
Yeah.
If now I want my representation of everything that I put out to be clean.
Okay.
You know, even if it's raw, I just want it to be clean. Make sure the iPhone camera is clean, it's not shaky, stuff like that.
So I think that touches a little bit on my next question. When you think about the things that that you have to have in order to be a good content creator, what do you think they are in your eyes?
I just think our audience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
People to watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's stuff that I see that I be like, don't look as good, but if
but
you got
there
an
are people
audience,
watching.
you still, it's still something. So first, make sure you got an audience. You know
How do you build that community?
Oh, yeah.
How do you make people trust you? Yeah, that's hard to do now.
It's hard to do now. It's just you go viral, you got to keep it up. If you sell your soul, that's what they want to do. A lot of people, you know, I don't want to be a part of that type of situation, but a lot of people post all types of crazy stuff. Build it, become a celebrity. You know?
So consistency, you'd say, and just be real with it. Like, because I think with social media now, we could see through it, right? Like after 3 posts, we know if this isn't really you. For real.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you can tell who's authentic and who's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you think about the fact that everyone has a clothing brand, right? And shout out to everyone. When you think about the ones that actually are the most successful, what kind of characteristics do they have?
Connects.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, no, if the brand is good, the brand is good. You got a lot of different brands that a lot of rappers wore. You know, it's a lot of brands that sell out like that because of a following. Everybody can't get it. You know what I'm saying? That makes people want it more.
Yeah.
Just a boatload of just anything, any t-shirts. Somebody's always going to be able to get it. But exclusivity, if you are able to build that and, you know what I'm saying, consistently do that for your drops, people are going to, you know, it's like a Supreme.
Yeah.
You know, Supreme drop a hat in 2 days it sold out. And you're like, damn. And they don't drop that style again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're like, damn, I gotta be by the phone.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of like high-end brands do that, like Louis Vuitton, right? Like certain bags.
Travis Scott's too.
You're
Sneakers
right.
apps.
Sneakers
app be having everybody going crazy. But guess what? They do it every drop. They complain, but every drop they right there until they win. Don't matter.
How do you get all the newest shoes? Do people send them to you? Or are you have somebody waiting with the tent outside of the stores?
I have a pretty good relationship with a lot of different people.
At this point, I feel like people probably like send it to you because like seeing you in it.
Sometimes, but as far as if I'm doing a release and I need to go get 10 pairs of, you know, Jordan 1s, I gotta hustle. I gotta go to Jersey, call people, put in 50 raffles. I'm still on the ground, crazy. You know what I mean? Because it's the resale game.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the resale game, you're making money.
Wow, you're right. Okay. So talk to me a little bit more about that because I don't think people realize that. Like the prices that we see are not the price of the actual shoe immediately.
Immediately, you get the retail price.
Yes.
So if you catch the sneakers, if you catch a sneaker politics, if you catch a somewhere, Commonwealth, whatever, you know. But if that shoe sells out, the value goes up. And that's where the resellers make their money.
Mm-hmm.
So they might put $50 on the shoe. So the 160 retail, 220, you know what I'm saying, if it's sold out. Or you compare it to GOAT, compare it to StockX, you know, price compare, because before the shoe comes out, if it's hyped, it's already overpriced.
You're right.
Comes out retail, sells out back overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of time. That's how it goes.
What's your favorite shoe in your collection? I'm picturing your closet right now, and it's probably you got a whole room, right? A whole room, and it's just shoes. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I did.
Okay.
I
Talk to me
did.
about that. You
I
don't
kind of
anymore.
chilled out. I said, look, when I get the crib,
Mhm.
I'm going to do the closet crazy. I kind of sold a lot of stuff too.
Okay.
Because it was just a lot of stuff sitting, and I do a lot of sales at the store and stuff. But I mean, I kind of got like a good 20, 40 pairs that I just...
It
it's
doubled really fast. 20, 40, 60.
20 that actually matter.
Okay.
And then you got some Asics and bunch of stuff that's just sitting around that I like. I'm into comfort now.
Okay.
So I'm into runners
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I kind of took a break on being a collector because it's like, I don't even want this. No. I had this shoe 6
Really?
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's okay to rewear stuff, right? In the fashion, that's not a fashion.
Once I get the crib and my,
Mhm.
I'm going to do my whole thing
Okay.
over again. But I still got a good number for sure.
Mhm. So which one is your favorite out of your collection?
Favorite right now.
You can give me 2. Yeah.
I promise you, I don't love it like that no more.
Okay. You don't love no shoe like that no more.
Nah. And they always be laughing. They be like, yeah, we know he gonna get rid of them.
Yeah.
They always laugh like I'd sell anything.
What size do you wear so that people can know? Can they DM you and get the shoes?
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
you see, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If it's available, you know. But I wear a 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I wear a 10.
That's a pretty good size. I feel like, that's like everybody wear a 10.
Yeah, 9.5, 10 most.
Because I wear a 9, so I could probably fit in. So I might have to be searching and see.
For sure.
What shoes I got in my just take up off you.
With the same shoes, the same size.
When you think about your personal style, right? Like you just said, like now you're into comfort.
Comfort.
Right?
Yeah.
What brands do you love the most right now? Does it matter about the brand or does it matter about the style and like maybe the fabric?
Right now, I just be wearing a lot of Asics. Asics is like the shoe right now.
Okay.
So I just run around. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. I love slippers.
Yes.
Crocs.
Yeah.
Those new Nike Crocs.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I just be running around like I'm inside the store, running around outside the store. I'll go shoot a video, take the clothes off, switch it, throw on my Crocs, go home. I'm wearing slippers.
Yeah.
I'm in a different.
In comfortability mode.
Yeah, I'm in a different time, but I mean, I just don't know about the favorites anymore.
And that's okay.
Because I'm thinking, let me go ahead and sell them if I get them for retail.
Yeah. They say hindsight is 20/20, meaning that like when you look back, you can see what you coulda, shoulda, woulda did. Is there anything that you would change about your journey if you could?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think. That's a good answer. I was hoping you would say that.
I really
'cause
don't
no regrets,
think so because I
right?
think I took advantage of every opportunity that I could have. So I don't really think I would, say per se change anything.
When you look forward 5 years, I know I said 2, 3, but now let's go farther. 5, 10 years from now, where do you see yourself?
I should be a father.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Papa Pat.
Maybe 10, 5, 10, yeah. I should
you should.
Just do that. And
So
that would
in
be
daddy
a whole,
mode.
Yeah, that'll be a whole nother
Level.
Change. You know what I mean? Something to try to build. Try to, of course, put them in sports and, do stuff like that and just try to build a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you say, from the ground up. But yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Eventually, everything get old.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a great point. Well, I just want to say it here. If you haven't heard it recently, I'm so proud of you. I think we met maybe like 2 years ago. And even in that short span, like, because the store was kind of like still in the beginning. My mom lives in Bowie, so we drive past often when I go to visit her. And I mean, people are always in there. And I think your growth is amazing.
Appreciate you.
And
You too.
thank you.
Your flowers too.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I'm just excited to see like where you go. I love the fact that you are like always in so many different things. Those people always inspire me. People who are multifaceted. So I want to thank you for taking the time. And where can people keep up with you?
I mean, everything PatisDope. That's it. You'll find it.
PatisDope.
TikTok, Instagram, Google, everything PatisDope. Or what should I call my store for the store content, shoes, releases, just anything, brands, whatever you want to see. That's it. I keep it real simple.
Perfect. And then the student athletes that maybe want to be represented by you guys.
Yeah, somebody just called me today. That's
how do they get in contact with you?
You could just DM me, email me. Just you know what I'm saying. I check it. That's all I do. How often do you check your phone and your DMs?
You know, I put my restrictions on because I checked it too much.
All right, so what do you think you do? Every 10 minutes?
Ooh, please don't. I hope not every 10 minutes. I'm gonna say
I gotta start asking people that.
Maybe like every 30. I like make a conscious effort not to though now.
Well,
I used to though.
I mean, but it's business in it.
You're right. It is business, but I need to draw that line.
Okay.
You know, like when I'm like in this mode, like I turn my phone off for the interview. Like I don't even want to even.
But how many opportunities have you gotten through DM?
Oh my God, tons.
Okay, that's all.
It's DM. It is way more beneficial than not. So that's where they can hit you up in the DMs.
And that's why they be like, "Why are you always on
your phone? Because of money."
Yeah, they don't understand.
Yes, clock it, as the girls do. The little girlies, clock it.
So look, the money is your DM. So if you're on a date,
they don't want to hear that.
That's crazy. Unless they're getting some money, huh?
Ooh, okay, you're gonna have to. That's a whole other podcast interview because at a certain time of night, just turn the phone on.
Oh, so you switched on me.
Yeah, I
you
did.
was with me.
I was with you.
Then you switched on me.
I was with you. What you got? The dates. I try to draw that line. You know? Give the attention, just like we're getting right now.
All right, man. Give me this one. We're gonna post this.
Yes.
This the clip we're gonna post. Because you was
it.
with me,
Exactly.
then you switched on me. Look.
Yeah.
That's why she asked me why I'm single. That's how they be with me.
And then
they switch on me. That's crazy.
Man. No, we locked in. And I want to thank you again for coming.
Appreciate
on
you.
the show.
Have fun.
Thank you so much. Until next time, stay beyond bond.